I just booked a plane ticket to Colombia, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna go live on my own. Gonna go, just enjoy life now.
Let's go.
Rob, hey man, thanks for tuning in. Good man. Yeah, so what we'll do is in case the internet goes shitty, we'll figure it out. But yeah, thanks for coming on board.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. Are you not getting my audio? What the fuck?
I can hear
you
you
hear my
fine,
audio?
just more the image. All right, that's a bit better.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
audio's good,
is this
man.
better?
Yeah,
Okay, okay, cool,
much better.
cool. Okay, then
Awesome.
I'll just hold
No,
these here
cool.
because I don't know what it is with this
Yeah,
phone. It's just like it's throwing it out the speaker, but then it wants to take the audio through the mic. I'm like, what the heck?
yeah, it gets hard because I've done that before. Like, yeah, if you've got your headphones on and there's the mic, then it will want to only do the audio through one and not the other. So then it makes
Yeah,
it a bit hard. So yeah, these cost me $12, and it's basically just hands-free driving
yeah,
headphones.
these are yeah.
And I found that's
Oh,
worked best.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks heaps, man, for coming on the show. Like for everyone tuning in at home, Rod Schad. So basically, he's an Amazon FBA pro. He's only 20 years old, college dropout. He's managed to do amazingly for himself, and this year he's working towards the nomad lifestyle. So he once invested 10K into himself and into his business, and he managed to turn that around to almost 300K in under 13 months. So that's a fantastic effort. So congrats, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. So for everyone tuning in at home, it's the Online Footprint Project. If you're on the replay, we'd love to hear from you. Hashtag Team I, letter R for replay, just so we know you've watched this later on. Because if we know you're getting value from it at a later date, then we'll know to keep making more videos. Because if this isn't something for you, we can always reinvest our time to help you in another way. So for everyone today, if you've got any questions for Rob, please jump on board. Ask them as we go. We'd love to hear from you coming live. Also, if you're on the replay and you have questions, put them in the comments, and then afterwards, Rob can reach out to you later on. So, Rob, yeah, thanks for coming on, man. So, I'd love to hear about your story. Like, how did you get started? Like, what college were you studying at, or even just what were you studying? Yeah, how did this all come about? Were you, your parents say, oh, you got to go to college, or how did it all
Yeah,
come?
yeah. I'll just dig right in. So, basically, like, ever since I've been like, I had that entrepreneur bug ever since I was a little kid. Like, running the lemonade stand, transitioning to selling on eBay. I flipped some playoff baseball tickets here and there, made some profits on that. Lost a hell of a
Nice.
lot of money on that as well. So I already I always had that bug in me. Then, along with that, my dad actually owns a gourmet popcorn business. So from a very young age, honestly, probably from when I was like 8 years old, I started working in his business, and eventually, like that was like my first breath in entrepreneurship. And I'm like, I always want to. Ever since doing that, I'm like, I always want to run my own business. I always want to be my own boss, because I had a lot of freedom working in his business versus working for someone else. But that also taught me is
Of
like
course.
I don't want to work under someone else. You know what I mean? Like I had more freedom
Okay.
than
Yeah.
most people in their jobs, but then I still want even more freedom than that. So that was just like my general
Yeah.
take on it. And throughout high school, I was a really good student. I had a very solid scholarship for college, had a spot on the baseball team, and just was like, you know
Cool.
what, this isn't for me. The last possible day tuition was due. I just told my mom, like, don't pay it, don't send the check. My goal here is to drop out, so why am I even going? And then that's
Yeah. Yeah.
essentially what
Cool.
started it. And so it started the journey. And since then, that was a year and 4 months ago, about a year and 4 months ago, that I started. And all I had going at that point was a $5,000 wire that I sent over to China for some products to sell on Amazon.
Cool. Yeah. That's it. Going all in. I love it. Like, that's it. Like, sometimes you just got to take the leap. I mean, if you're working and you can manage to do something on the side, that's great and, build up to it. But just by diving all in, you know that you've got to win. Like, you've got to succeed. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome that, you've
I
put
put
in
that pressure
everything
on
and
myself,
it's
and
showing. So,
yeah, but I'm doing something very similar. Like I just booked a plane ticket to Colombia, and and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna go live on my own. Gonna go, just enjoy life now.
yeah. No, that's it. Yeah. Earlier this year when I left the 9 to 5, yeah, I bought a plane ticket to the Philippines and basically just went straight there to learn about offshoring and outsourcing. So, yeah, I hear you, man. So, I mean, I'm back now. I'm, Adelaide, Australia. So I'm
Yep.
working from home. But yeah, just the fact of going all in, like, I think fear is such a strong motivator.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's something that I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were just talking about how everyone is like, not everyone's going to be a winner, so it's to have that fear ingrained in you. It's such a strong and powerful motivator. So, that's awesome that you're just like, nah, well, I'm dropping out. I'm going to go all in. So congrats, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's awesome for me, but you have to have a certain mental fortitude to be able to deal with that, and it does put a lot of
Of
pressure
course.
on you. So like whenever people say that, I'm like, make sure that you're someone who can handle that, and that's not going to overwhelm you. Like I always like to
Oh,
throw
yeah,
that
yeah,
caveat
absolutely,
to
absolutely.
everyone. 'Cause I have a lot of friends that come to me like, oh yeah, I want to drop out. I'm like, dude, that's not like. Maybe, but sometimes you do need a little structure. There are people that do need that little extra structure, or they need something else, and being on their own is might be a little too much at the current moment, but a
Yeah,
couple baby steps
yeah.
before
Well,
going.
that's it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Like the you have to have the right mindset for it. Like if you don't handle stress well, then it might not a good thing to do at this stage, but you can always work towards it. But say for us, it was more a case of, well, no, like fuck it, like
yeah,
it
yeah,
has to be done
exactly,
now, or it's not going to happen.
exactly,
Because I mean, I'm
exactly.
29, so I've been having small businesses like even as young as 14, going with my old man to markets and selling stuff there. And I just kept putting it off. Like I'd always have side business, but I never went in. I was like, no, fuck it, cushy job, managerial position. Like I got to give this up because otherwise I'm going to stay there and I'm going to regret this for the
Yeah,
rest of my life.
yeah,
So,
yeah. You're just
and
you're
it
just
was a
gonna get
fantastic
stuck in that
position.
rut, right?
Yeah. Well, the worst part well, I guess if you want to call it a worst part, the position was the retention rate was so high because it was such a fantastic role. Like there was autonomy, it paid well. There's really, I couldn't fault it at all, but it was someone else's business. So,
Yeah, yeah.
going all in is
You
really,
putting
if
the
you can,
time in
yeah,
to grow their business versus grow your own. And I got that lesson when I was really young.
exactly.
I was selling popcorn for my dad, selling some nuts. I did like $2,000 one day. I got a nice like $100 bill. Yeah,
Yeah.
they great work, great work. And I'm just like, yeah, I just made you a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I've
Oh,
worked my
shit.
butt
That's
off.
funny. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Working for someone else it's something that Amanda says, damn, Ross, I'm older than you. Yep. All right. Shit. But yeah, it's one of those things that, you are working for someone else and it's, that structure there can be really good. If you need a solid paycheck or even a part-time paycheck, it's really
Or
important to
even
have,
to
but
gain experience too, to gain experience and knowledge as well.
absolutely.
Like be very
Yeah.
strategic with
Like,
it.
definitely. Like if you have a particular industry you want to work in and you want to go all in,
Mhm.
there's certainly different ways of doing it. Like you can go all in by working a 9 to 5 for a company within that industry, because that's still you doing research and you're getting paid for that research whilst you do it. So there's so many smart ways to go about it, and it's just as long as you end up where you want to be, that's the main thing. So for us, it was more a case of saying, "Nah, fuck it, like we're just jumping in. We'll figure it out along the way." Although when I did buy the plane ticket to the Philippines, like I waxed 10K in like, matter of like weeks. Like
Yeah,
just I was like enjoying myself too much. I was like, yeah, this
yeah,
is great. Like, and then I was like, all right, look, I gotta
yeah.
calm this down now. Like,
Exactly.
I'm supposed to be
Then
living off this.
reality hit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, Rob, how did you make the transition from, so you've dropped out of college and you basically had $5,000 that you invested into some products. What was the process you went from there? Like for those just starting out. So you've decided, like, obviously we won't talk about products, but as in you've decided you wanted a product or a niche or an industry. What was the
Yep.
next step from there?
So for me, it was getting the products, obviously setting up a business, doing the basic stuff like that. I had a ton of delays. I'm like, oh yeah, I could have this up and running by like August before I was like, oh, I want to get out of here. Then it was October before I even had product up, and the product I picked ended up the best possible season I could sell it in was in October. So I ended up selling like
Oh,
17,000 in
nice.
2 weeks. And then
That's awesome.
essentially, yeah, yeah, it was a complete, like I have to admit, it was a complete stroke of luck. It wasn't skill, it wasn't anything. Because as soon as that ended, my sales fell, like, and I'm just like, oh no, what am I going to do now? And from that time going forward, I really started to learn like, okay, how do I like sell on Amazon? How do I optimize my stuff? How do I do better with pay per
Yep.
click? How do I make my listing better? How do I get more conversions? So that initial success was good, but then it took me about a month to be like, oh wait, I actually need to like go and do a lot better. And this wasn't just because I'm an awesome Amazon seller, it's because I was lucky. And now compared to
Yeah.
where I was last year, that same product is doing like 5 times the amount after the big season ended, just because I know what I'm doing now. I'm more optimized. It's much better that I actually went and learned everything and just didn't count on luck.
Yeah.
But it was nice to get lucky. But it kind of also it didn't kill it, but it kind of built this like arrogance that I've really taken out of my life and learned that lesson. And good thing I learned that lesson.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's it. Like, I mean, staying humble is so important because, I mean, it's so easy to get, like, with certain personality traits, like myself as well included, like, it's so easy to get in that certain mindset. You're like, fuck it, like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
like just
yeah.
dropping cash. And it's,
Dude,
so
I've
it's
the
so important
same
in that
issue.
regard. So,
Yeah,
yeah, so it's good that learning that lesson like early and sometimes a reality check is something we need in some cases, and once we hit a certain age, we more so learn through trauma. So whether it is a big loss of cash or something like that, or your stability is no longer there. So learning that early at only 20, that's awesome. So I've got big hugs for you in the coming years. So
thank
that's
you.
really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty. What you're saying about learning lessons, that's one of my favorite things about doing this so young is I'm literally experiencing so much stuff that most people never experience in a lifetime, and I'm only 20. Like in terms of like life
Yeah.
lessons and business lessons and experiences that I've had, and I'm like 20 years old, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I want to get up every day and just go experience something else, or go do this in my business or that. It just gives me so much passion and energy.
Yeah, that's it. And for, if you've got that passion there, it's going to drive you a lot further because doing something you don't want to do, it's going to be hard. All right, so Trey, we've got a live question here. So Rob, how did you choose the product you would sell on Amazon? So yeah, we obviously won't go into which product it is, but
Yeah,
how did you decide that was the right product for you?
yeah, so basically, what I'm doing I'll kind of give you both strategies because the strategy I started with and what I've progressed to now, um, basically like what I researched and learned is you go find a niche. It's like a niche of products. So headphones, for example, like you go find a niche of products that
Yeah,
sell. Then essentially you start at the top with find stuff that sells, go back to the beginning with the product, source the product, and go back up to the top. So there's a couple software called Jungle Scout, and I really like Viral Launch's new software that they released that
cool. Yep.
essentially helps you find products that sell. And from those products, you research the niche, see how many sales are happening in the niche, and then from there, go and find the product. And now I'm
Cool. Okay.
transitioning because I have about 5, 6 products I sell right now, and I really want to go away from like they're all random. They're not related or anything like that. And where I'm going in the future is
Yeah,
I'm
they're
actually
not
selling my
synonymous. They're
current
just kind of like
Amazon
random,
account
arbitrary
business.
items. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm currently like selling what I have now, and I have a brand that I want to launch coming end of 2018, where I'm hiring product designers. I'm going over to China to manufacture everything. I'm essentially like revamping
Beautiful.
a niche that I found that has products. It has stores I could start. It has like many different facets and something that I'm just like so ready to get into that not that I want to abandon my current business, but I'm kind of looking forward to selling it so I can go after something that I'm much more passionate about. And it's something I actually
That's
am
great.
passionate
Yeah.
about. That's a great opportunity. So I'm like, this is perfect. And yeah, I'm going to use my Amazon skill to start it up, to get the products ranked and build from there.
Yeah, beautiful. No, that's awesome. Well, yeah, at the end of the year, you'll have to, yeah, definitely let us know, when it launches, and that way we can all take a look. And, I hope it goes
Absolutely.
really well for you. That's
Thank you.
cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I guess, yeah, that's an interesting point. Moving, like, well, I guess, traveling over to China to having a look at, manufacturers and that sort of thing. How did you go about that? Was it more, say, Alibaba that you went on, or were there
Yep.
certain, other areas that you had a look to really do that research beforehand?
Basically, I just used Alibaba. I've had really good, not luck with suppliers, but I've just had really good suppliers, and I credit that to I do a lot of due diligence in terms of talking with them and just asking them a ton of questions, then weeding out people who don't answer my questions how I want them to be answered. And I've had really good really good
Yep.
suppliers, where a lot of people have these like core issues. I haven't had anything. I just put that into doing the due diligence up front to make sure they're a legitimate business, they produce a good product, they're willing to make like a relationship to it for the future as well, and helping me build and helping give them more revenue in their business as well.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. No, it's a very good point there because yeah, there's a lot of those at home that are looking to start their own product, or they want to start selling on Amazon. They don't really know where to turn. So these are some awesome points that you're making. So I think everyone at home is going to be really be able to utilize those, which is fantastic. So yeah, really, I guess it's just a case of so you've found you're doing your different niches, and then you're going to be taking that further, which is awesome. When you first started on Amazon, I mean, obviously you were saying you got very lucky in the month you were selling it in, but are there any points that you picked up? Did you do a little bit of research before starting selling, or was it you kind of just had 5K and just thought, yeah, I'm just going to dive in and find out what happens? Or how did you do your initial due diligence in regards to starting on Amazon FBA?
Yeah, so I took 3 months where I was kind of like pondering the idea, and I was again kind of a senior in high school. It was during my baseball season, so I mean I had free time here and there. This was like the end stretch of senior year, so like I really didn't care about school that much, and I just started listening to podcasts, a couple different podcasts. Just started watching YouTube channels, reading stuff online, and just educating myself. And I did that for probably 3 to 4 months before I even put the money in to buy the product. So I did all the research. I really educated myself as much as I possibly could before I took the leap. Before I took the leap and sent the money. So that was kind of like my education. But really, I've learned way more by actually doing it and actually going through the process. And the way I look at it, it's a process. And every time I like go and launch a new product, it's a very similar process and pretty much going through these steps every single time. And that's how I do it now.
Yeah, awesome. No, that's it. You've basically just managed to, set up those systems in place so you know exactly what to do step by step.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like I find the
that's
product,
awesome.
then I find a supplier, then I import it, then I launch it, rank it, set up a follow-up review, and then at that point, I just have to manage it, check inventory, and reorder, and that's basically how the process goes, and just rinse and repeat for every new product.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so I guess with those that aren't that familiar with fulfillment by Amazon, like, how did you find the whole process? Like, was it something that was convenient with the steps that you were using, or did you find there was a bit of difficulty on Amazon's end? Like, how did that all come about?
Are you talking about how I like found out about Amazon, or like or Amazon FBA? Is that what you're referring to?
A bit of both, man. Like, I mean, it's really whatever you want to have a chat about. So, if you want to dive into how you found Amazon, do that.
Yeah.
And, that'd probably be an interesting story in itself.
Well, you want to hear? I actually found out about something on Amazon through a podcast. I heard a podcast and I heard someone being like, "Oh, this is the steps I took to sell on Amazon." I'm like, I could do that. And then then I just went rabbit hole and just went deeper and deeper and deeper into it. It was just a very like base level what's it called? Base level podcast about private labeling, and I see Corey down there saying private label. Yeah, Corey, I do private label. Awesome niche. Private label is greater than general products on FBA. Yes, private label is greater than general products because you'll have control over everything. So I just wanted to answer that. I don't know what you'd like to do with the questions, but
yeah, man, absolutely. That's what we're here for. No, that's cool. Live questions are great.
I can expand on that too. Because a lot of people will talk about retail arbitrage versus private label. So it's essentially two different ways you could do Amazon. So retail arbitrage is essentially where you would go into Walmart or go into Toys R Us or wherever and scan stuff and find products that are discounted and are selling for more on Amazon and buy them and send them in. Like, funny, I was doing this yesterday with literally someone I met at Barnes & Noble because they're like, hey, and we were talking for like 2 hours, and he was into business, and I'm like, hey, you want me to show you how to do retail arbitrage? Because he was interested in it. Then I just went to Toys R Us, bought like $150 worth of stuff. I'll make like $200 profit in 45 minutes worth of work. So I'm like, yeah, it's
nice.
It still has its way to make money, but it's not nearly as scalable. You don't see value in your business. There's good things about it. Then there's things that that literally like aren't building any value in your business because everything you're doing is based off of more of time and not actually like creating something that's sellable. And that's why I don't like the retail
Yep.
arbitrage for a long-term play. For a short-term play to learn how to sell on Amazon, it's fantastic. And I actually tell a lot of people that are worried about putting a lot of money into private label to take $500, put it in a bank account, and just start cycling that through retail arbitrage products. So you make about 5 to 10 grand that you can now go invest into a private label product that you could build much bigger.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, some fantastic advice there. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So, okay, got
Yeah,
a
fantastic.
little
So, yeah,
long-winded,
really.
but
No, it's good, man. Because I mean, even if anyone at home is trying to make a few extra $100, or they want to make a few grand, and they're interested in selling an arbitrage, then it's a great way to do it. Whereas because obviously you still have to put in the time to learn about the processes and how to do it all. So if it was someone looking to make a quick $500 and that's the end of it, then that wouldn't be for them. But if they're looking to sell online, that would be a fantastic way to get started, because it's such a low entry cost to start to learn, and really to spend that and to learn as you go is awesome. So yeah,
absolutely.
nice. No, great, Corey. Great question, Corey. Yeah, thanks for that, man. Yeah, so everyone, if you're tuning in, if you're on the replay, we'd love to hear from you. It's hashtag Team R, letter R for replay. We'd love to know you're getting value from this later on. Rob Schad, he is a Amazon FBA star. So if you have any questions for him, even after this is ended, please jump in the comments and ask them below.
Yeah. I will
absolutely.
gladly answer any questions any of you have. So
that's cool. Yeah, nice. No, thanks, Rob. That's cool. So yeah, basically you getting back to our topic before. So with Amazon, you kind of you were listening about it in a podcast and you heard about it, and then from there you just kind of went down the rabbit hole. So do you want to start? We'll get back to that. Do you want to expand a bit on that? So what ended up happening through the rabbit hole there?
So through the rabbit hole. Basically, there's one podcast I listen to a lot. It was called The Amazing Seller. The guy still is pushing out a ton of podcasts. But
Nice.
where I started is you have to actually go to his website. It's like theamazingseller.com. And then you can find like his like OG, like first like 50 podcasts and just go listen to those. Like if you're interested in this, go listen to those. Go on YouTube and type in like Jungle Scout. Then they have it's called like their $1 million case study. And that's like some of the best content out there, and it's completely free. So that's
Great.
like there's so many people that sell courses in the Amazon space, and there's such good free information that save your money. I mean, granted, if you want to be like walk step by step by step, I understand it for that reason. But if you're actually can go out and you're good at taking in information, there's so much stuff out there that you will find everything you need to know. And there's so many awesome Facebook groups. And actually, that's something I wanted to personally start was a Amazon Facebook group. So that's something I'm planning to do in January 2018.
Definitely, man. Well, in a post from I think yesterday or the day before, we're doing it's basically just an accountability buddy. So if you want after this, jump in there and type I want to start a Facebook group, and then that way we can all keep track of each other's goals. So then by January or mid-Jan, we can be like, well, have you done that yet? And you'll be like, oh, yes or no. And if you haven't, it's like, man, like get that shit done. So so it's something I started. It's just a post, just basically just the accountability buddy. So jump in there, man. It's in this group, the Entrepreneurs Niche Community, and we'd love to hear that you're actually hitting your goals. So for sure we'll keep track of that. And then when you do launch it, let us know, because that way for anyone interested in Amazon FBA, then they can really use that or utilize it for all the information you can offer, which would be cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Ross. Yeah, I'll definitely go and do that right after we finish up.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Because honestly, it takes you like 15 minutes to set a group up, so, so there's no excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on the show and you get a grilling, like.
Yeah, well, no, I was gonna say you probably know because I was running a Facebook group before. It's easy to start up. It's a lot to maintain, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've got another one, Personal Trainers Australia, just because I launched a lead generator for personal trainers within Australia, a few years back, and I started this Facebook group kind of to work in with that, because when you have a group, you don't want it branded as your label. You really just want it as like a generic name that's easy to search. So I figured Personal Trainers Australia, that really fits in well, and it was and I haven't touched it in like like 6 months. Like, I just haven't. And I got a notification just the other day after coming out of a live podcast, and it said someone needs approval for their post. And I clicked on it, and I didn't realize it was the Personal Trainers Australia Facebook group. I thought it was this group, and there was about 40 spam posts all needing approval.
Oh,
I was like, fuck, like, I do not have time to like sit through this or like go through all. As soon as I realized it was a Personal Trainers one, I was like, oh, thank God. Like, yeah, no, I don't give a fuck, like, close.
You're like, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Rob, how have you found with the Amazon FBA itself? So, with the process of them actually, packing and shipping it for you, like, has that been a smooth process, or have there been a few like speed bumps along the way? What's the go with that? Because I'll be honest, I don't know much about the actual FBA process itself. All I know is you send them your stuff, and they'll send it for you. So that's kind of my knowledge extent.
Yeah, I think you cut off a little bit, but I got the gist of your question. Actually,
Okay.
I don't pack and fulfill anything. So,
Rob's just cut out there just from the internet. He'll be back in a sec because he's had some fantastic questions and his internet's just a bit up and down. So no stress there. So if you're tuning in, he'll be back any minute now. He's had some fantastic content. So thank you for investing your time with watching here with us today. I'll just get Rob back in there at guest. But yeah, if you have any live questions you'd like to ask Rob about selling on Amazon or Amazon FBA, Rob, you're back.
yeah,
Awesome.
I'm back. Yeah, I got kicked
No, all
off.
good, man. All good.
But you want me to just dive right back in?
Yeah, man, absolutely. So yeah, it was really just a case of how have you found the whole FBA process of sending out stuff to Amazon? They sort it out for you. Has that been an easy process, or has it been speed bumps? What's been the go there?
Okay, so on Amazon side, extremely easy. Hardest part has been freight forwarding. So a lot of my stuff,
Okay.
I get a lot of my like first shipments, and I like actually like physically open up the boxes, check them all out, make sure I'm getting like quality goods, and I haven't had any issues with any of the manufacturers yet. So again, kind of going back to that whole like doing my due diligence and getting the right people. But now once I get that first order in, I'll ship them directly from China. Then I'll ship them to like the Los Angeles port. Then from the Los Angeles port, I'll arrange a pickup with an Amazon partnered carrier. They'll pick it up, send it to a fulfillment center. Normally it's in Dallas. Then from there, they put it out to all their other fulfillment centers. If I sell a unit, they just pick it from one and ship it out. So I don't really touch it. And it's awesome because imagine myself packing 700 units a day, and when I'm a one-man show, that'd be kind of difficult. But yeah, going back to kind of the issues, that's pretty easy. The hardest part was just kind of figuring out freight forwarding, and I got burned a couple times by a couple of freight forwarders. That's been like the only kind of like negative, really negative things that happened. I either got like overcharged. I was promised delivery on something, like I had to get something air shipped and paid a premium because it was a bigger product, and just got put out $4,000 for 500 units, double the cost of the good, hoping to get it here in a week, 2 weeks is what they said. It got to America that time, and it took them a month and a half to deliver it from one warehouse in Dallas to the other warehouse in Dallas.
Oh, geez.
And then I ran out of inventory. I lost my ranking, and I blew all that extra money on shipping. I mean, it's in the long scheme of things, it's a learning lesson, but like that was a $10,000, $15,000 mistake because of that. So that's probably like been like one of my biggest like setbacks, and I mean nothing in my control that I could have done. I always made the joke like I could like flown out there and physically like walked them from one warehouse to the other warehouse and still done better than the company. So I found a good freight forwarder. I really like hammered down like shipping terms, like how does freight forwarding work, and now I'm much more knowledgeable in that sense. And it's helped me going forward, and I help out a lot of people that ask me about it. So because it's something where you have no one, like I had no knowledge of how any of that works, and most people get into this business have no knowledge of how any of that works, and hence why you can get burned if you go through a bad company or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's good. Due diligence, I think, is that from the biggest takeaway from this today is absolutely, put it in, because you don't want to lose. I mean, sure, it's
Yeah.
a lesson, but it's a very expensive lesson to lose. So yeah, it's absolutely, man. So no, this has been fantastic. So Rob, is there anything that you'd like to get into before we go into everything that you're offering that you can share with everyone today? Is there anything you'd like to touch base on with the listeners today?
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're in here, drop your 2018 goals. Like that's something I text all my friends and I'm like, and just I want to hear what you're doing for next year. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? I know for me, and I'll go into kind of my personal. I want to hear yours, Ross, as well. But for me,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm working on building a consulting business inside of essentially running people's Amazon stores. So I can sell
Yep.
more stuff on Amazon and I don't have to go and have millions of dollars worth of inventory. And then I'm assisting just other business owners who have awesome products but don't know how to sell on Amazon. So my goal there is I want to do
Yeah.
20 million through other people's stores. And along with that, I just got into doing a little coaching, taking people from nothing to essentially having a product and a second product. So I want to successfully help 20
Yep.
people start their Amazon business in 2018. So 20
Yeah.
million and
Beautiful.
20 people. That's
That's
my
awesome.
2018 goals.
That's
Yep.
awesome. No, that's really cool.
So
Yeah. So
what's your goals? I
um,
want to hear your
yeah, so I got a few different ones. So yeah, for everyone listening in, so if you scroll down in the entrepreneurs community group, basically there's a post I did just yesterday or the day before, and it's about having an accountability buddy. So for someone that accountability is so important to basically keep on track, because if you have a goal but you don't have anyone to answer to, then it's less likely to get achieved. So it's just basically just a community post. So everyone's posting in there. Goals there. And there is a bit of a vulnerability to it, because if you don't achieve those goals, then, everyone sees that. But I guess it comes back to that whole fear as a motivator. So, really getting
yeah.
that in is really important. So mine, I've got a few different ones. The numbers, basically, I did this at like 2 a.m. last night or the night before. So, because I was having a bit of a thing. And, I had around, these rough goals, but it's really about pinpointing exactly what you want. So, for me, I'm launching a new startup in 2018. Which is unlimited WordPress support. So if you've got a website, so basically I want to make 5 figures a month by the end of the year for that. So from a completely new startup making, 5 figures a month, that's one of my goals. For this group itself, growing it to 8,000 people, which is a big feat because we're at about 550 at the moment, but I've only had the group 2 months. So, it's growing significantly every week. Another is with this podcast as well, but the fact that we've got 3 levels. So it's not only the Facebook Live, but then we'll have it as a podcast. And then thirdly, it'll be on my YouTube channel. So collectively, I like about 6,000, subscribers or followers or viewers. And then finally, from a more of a personal, say, fitness perspective, I want to be able to deadlift 150 kilos. So they're my goals for 2018.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, awesome. All right, so everyone, so Rob Schad, so he is a FBA whiz. He's done absolutely fantastically so far, so really looking forward to how this next year is going to come for him. So, Rob, do you have, we call this the shameless plug area. So, if you've got anything
Like
that you
that.
want to promote or share with everyone, absolutely. So, are there any services that you offer that you can help with others, or is there anything, once you have that Facebook group launched, let us know.
Yeah.
And yes, certainly drop the
Okay.
link there.
Yeah.
But are there any other links that you'd like to share?
Not links, but if anyone has any questions on Amazon, feel free to reach out. Like I will answer anything. I'll hop on a call. I'll talk with you. If you're interested in starting and just want like a really good overview, I will gladly talk to you. And I will say I'm doing coaching, so obviously I'm not like someone who likes to be super salesy. I will literally talk to you for 2 hours and answer all your questions. Then if we vibe, if we don't even vibe, don't even want to work with you. So I'm extremely like I only want to work with the right people,
Great.
people
Yep.
that I enjoy talking to, and because I'm gonna have to talk to you a lot. So if I don't enjoy talking with you and you're not a fun person, I probably don't want to work with you. But I would gladly answer all your questions on Amazon or business, or if you're especially like if you're in high school or in college and you're like, what I want to do. If you're just like need someone to talk to, I love talking to high schoolers. And I've had a lot
Yeah.
of people that I went to high school with reach out to me and ask me about like business, entrepreneurship. So if that's something that, if that's your situation, if you need someone to talk to who's done it and who's currently doing pretty decent for himself without college, I will gladly talk to you. If you need me to talk
Yeah.
to your parents, I will talk to your parents as well. If they want a living, proving example. I would gladly do that. And I guess the last thing is if anyone
That's
has like
cool.
physical product that they want up on Amazon and want to partner up, that's something I'm working on, working with business owners to help do. So
Fantastic. No, Rob, that's awesome. Amanda just said hashtag make 2018 your bitch. I
yeah,
love it.
love
I
that,
love
like
it.
2002.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, awesome. All right, Rob. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate you coming on, man. It's been an absolute blast. I've had a lot of fun. I think a lot of the listeners would have learned a lot as well because you've had some amazing insight into your industry. So, yeah, thanks, man. So, yeah, if anyone has any questions for Rob, yeah, just jump on the comments there and he can certainly get back to you about that, about Amazon or Amazon FBA. So, Rob, thank you again. And everyone listening at home, thank you so much for investing your time in joining us here today.